Well, they say a third time's a charm. So here's hoping that everything is fixed now on my Porsche Cayman. So I have brought my Porsche Cayman to Porsche of Livermore. This is the third Porsche dealership that I have brought my Cayman over to in the hopes of fixing the problems that I've had, which I've gone into depth on some of my prior videos. So I refer you back to those if you want to hear the full backstory there. Anyways, I am leaving my Porsche here in the hands of Porsche Livermore, and we'll see in a few days if they're able to figure out my problems. Fingers crossed. All right, we are back at Porsche of Livermore. The dealership has called me and said my car is ready to be picked up, and so here I am. Happy to see my 718 Cayman GTS, still as blue as ever. And they claim to have found the problems and addressed them, so hopefully that is the case. I will be bringing the car home, driving it around, and hopefully not finding any more issues. Now, as I was walking around, looking at my car, just inspecting everything and making sure that everything was all right, I did notice another really cool car over here in the parking lot. So I figured I would pull my Cayman over and take a look, give you a comparison between two similar but different colors. All right, this is a nice opportunity to see the difference and the similarities between Shark Blue on the left and Mexico Blue on the right. Very nice 991.2 GT3 looks like. The license plate says MX Blue, which implies that this is Mexico Blue. Yeah, pretty cool seeing these together. They asked me if I wanted them to wash the car before they give it back to me, and I said no, because, well, those who are meticulous about their cars and paint know not to let other people wash their cars. But they said that, you know, the car was a little dusty from being here for several days and offered to wash it for me, but you know what? It doesn't look all that dirty. Maybe it's a little dusty, but I think it's fine. I mean, I had just washed it a few days before I brought it in to the dealership. But I will note that once again, the taillights are still foggy. At least on that side. But they say that's normal, so they're not gonna do anything about it. And I guess, as I've pointed out in other videos before, it is a common problem. You see it on a lot of 718s, Boxsters, Caymans, GT4s, GT4 RSs, Spiders, and Spider RSs. They all have this problem. So I guess I'm just gonna live with that for now. So the day I picked up my car back from the dealership, I didn't get a chance to speak with Almina, my service manager at Porsche of Livermore. So we're going to give her a call real quick and try and catch up with her and maybe just answer a couple of questions that I had about what they fixed on the car, what they did, just so that I have a better understanding of what they touched, what they didn't touch. So let's give her a call. Hi, Almina. This is Plato Mock calling.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Do you have a few minutes to talk right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great. I just had a couple of questions about, the repairs that were done to my Cayman. And I know the day that I picked up the car, I wasn't able to catch you, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you about what happened with the car. So I just wanted to understand a little bit more about the first problem that I had was the check engine light that kept coming on, and I think that you or your technician found that there was some sort of sensor on the transmission that wasn't giving the right signals or something along those lines. Is that right?
Correct, yeah. It was the inductive sensor on the transmission for the transmission speed sensor.
Okay. And so what happened? You ended up just replacing that sensor?
Yes, we replaced the sensor and then we always road test the vehicle and then rescan it to make sure that there is no active fault codes afterwards.
Okay. And good news, I haven't driven the car a ton since I picked it up, but to the extent that I haven't gotten any check engine lights or anything coming back.
Yeah, that's great. I'll knock on wood.
Yeah, really. I guess I was just curious, sort of what was involved in taking that sensor out and replacing it. Do they take off a wheel? Do they lift the car and do it from underneath, or do they come in from the top? How does that happen?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have the work instructions in front of me, but see if I can find it.
Sure.
It must have not been too labor intensive because warranty only covered an hour, 1.16 of time, so I don't think it was anything extreme. It might have been on the chop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just out of curiosity, do you keep the old sensor or send it off for testing or anything like that?
We usually have to send it back to Porsche, so they could do their own investigation and they look at our paperwork that we've done and what codes we've received, just so in case this happens often, they can improve the vehicle moving forward.
Right. Yeah, that's because I guess that's what I was curious about, was whether they sort of take that.
They're always looking to improve, so they're constantly looking at repairs that dealerships do, and if any of them become abundant or a common issue, then they either issue a recall or they just improve the product on other new vehicles that are produced.
Right. Okay. And then I guess with the second issue, we had talked about how I was getting a parking brake fault. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I first brought it up to you, the first thing you mentioned was that, or suggested was that I keep the car on a trickle charger, right?
Yeah, that's what I suggest to all of our clients, just because we've had way too many situations where low voltage causes a lot of error codes, and then obviously we don't want your battery to deplete faster than it should, because it wouldn't be covered under warranty and that would be outside influence.
Right. I'm just curious, did you, while the car was in with you guys, did you test the battery by any chance?
Yes. So every time we scan your vehicle, it also lets us know the battery life and all that. So.
Oh, okay. So I assume then that whatever came back, it indicated that the battery was good, and ultimately you couldn't find anything else
wrong with
Yeah.
the parking brake, so you weren't able to replicate the
I did
problem,
have a
right?
technician drive it, kind of like you said. You drove it for a little bit, parked, let's say, to go to a grocery store or run errands, and come back to the car. So I had him duplicate that a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
We
Well,
weren't able to get it to come up nor find any fault codes related to the parking brake.
yeah. That situation was more along the lines of the first problem, the check engine light. For the parking brake fault that I was getting, it was from, I guess, just sitting and not being driven for several days or something along those lines.
Oh. I
Um,
do confuse the two lines. I do see that there. It won't just I turned off. I'll turn back on. Sorry, I hadn't noticed that you turned it on and off, and then it went away. The parking brake error.
right, yeah. I had to sort of reset the car in order to get the parking brake to release. Yeah. So okay, well, I just wanted to see whether you had tested the battery, because yeah, after I got the car back, I had discussed it with some other Porsche owners, and some of them had mentioned that that I'd want to at least get the battery checked and make sure that it wasn't like a defective battery.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we check pretty much everything, including our multi-point inspection, what we do, and our pre and post scan of the vehicle.
Great. I think that addresses those two issues, and hopefully everything goes well, and I don't have any more problems with those. I guess one last question I had was, do you guys sell the prepaid maintenance plan?
I personally don't. I believe the finance team does.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because the other dealership that I took my car to, actually the one that I bought the car from, when I brought it in for that first year service, they actually offered to sell me that prepaid maintenance plan. So I was curious whether you guys.
It's a process, but at our local location, they don't have the service advisor to sell the prepaid maintenance
Oh, okay.
as of yet. They'll
Okay.
update it later on, but
Is there someone at your dealership that I should talk to if I was interested?
yeah, his name is Lenny. I could transfer you over to his line if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that, Almina.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks. Take care. All right, well, I wasn't able to get a price quote from Almina for the prepaid service plan, so I left a message for someone else at the dealership, and hopefully he will get back to me. I actually find it kind of refreshing that the service advisors at Porsche of Livermore don't sell you or try to sell you the PSMP. I guess they just leave that to the sales department. And so just gives me a little more confidence in their abilities to look at your car, diagnose the problems, and fix those problems without being, motivated to somehow sell you some sort of maintenance plan or other packages. Whereas the other dealership that I was dealing with was totally trying to sell me on the maintenance plan. So I don't know, it's a little refreshing to see that from this dealership. It just makes me trust them a little bit more. But anyways, we'll see what happens. So my Porsche is back home with me, and I haven't had a chance to drive it very much, but to the extent that I have, the good news is that everything seems to be working fine. Haven't gotten any more check engine lights. Haven't had the parking brake error pop up again. So the third issue I brought up was the foggy taillights, but at this point I kind of accept that that is a normal issue on these cars, and everybody says that they get it. I see it all the time on other cars. So for the time being, unless it becomes a much more serious issue, I think I'm just gonna let that one slide. But leave me a comment if you think that that I should do more about that. But to me personally, I feel like the bigger issue is that those first two problems that I brought up, the check engine light and the parking brake fault and its inability to release when I first start the car, those to me were the two more serious issues that needed to get resolved. And as far as I can tell, hopefully Porsche of Livermore has resolved those problems. They took a look at it, they diagnosed it, they found some issue, at least with the transmission speed sensor, and replaced that. So hopefully that was it, and with a little bit of luck, I won't get any more errors going forward. And now, while the weather's still good, it's the end of summer, beginning of fall, hopefully I'm gonna be able to get out there and drive the car some more, enjoy the car for what it is, enjoy those beautiful mountain roads, and just take in the whole Porsche experience the way that I think everyone wants to, and of course the way that Porsche intends us to just use these machines for the pleasure of driving, of going out there and enjoying the driving experience with a wonderful machine. So that's what I'm going to try and do. All right, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.